Richmond, Petersburg, surrounding areas. It's Venus Community Clovia, welcoming you to another edition of Community Conversations. And we're dealing with the city of Richmond, and the head of the city, the executive of our city, is joining me on the show, Richmond Mayor L. Douglas Wilder. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm laughing or smiling to myself because when you say the head of the city, the chief executive, some people take exception to that. If you know what I mean.
What are you saying?
Well, the city council likes to think that they run the government here. They have long opposed the strong mayor form of government that the voters overwhelmingly voted for some 4 years ago now. And one of the people who's running for the position of mayor, it's amazing, was one of those persons objecting to it most strenuously, and that's Reverend Jones. In addition to that, he even after the people voted overwhelmingly, even after the legislature voted with 3/4 of them to put the law into effect immediately, Mr. Jones wasn't satisfied, and the Reverend went to the Justice Department, complaining that the people, what they did was discriminatory, and it was racially inspired. So when you say that people accept this as the new form of government, I think the people do, but all of those persons who say they do don't. But it's an amazing thing when the people have done that and said that, and you have one of the persons running for the office say, now I want to be the strong mayor. It's amazing. But I had to say that because you opened it up for me to do it.
Well, okay. Well, we're going to move on to the next thing. Let's get into this budget.
Right.
The fiscal year 2009 budget. We have a lot of issues with this budget at this point.
No, we don't. It's very simple. The city council, I submitted a budget in March. They had until they failed to do their job and pass this balanced budget by May 31st. Section 6.11 of the city charter clearly requires that all funding be in place by that time, so they didn't do it. And then as a result of it, it means, and the charter states very clearly, that the budget that the mayor has submitted is the one that takes place. So what people are saying now, oh, well, is everybody going to be paid? Yes. Well, what's in the budget pipeline? The money that which should be there. And what's going to happen? There's a difference. One of the council persons amazingly is saying, well, it's not balanced. Of course it's not balanced. That's why I said way back yonder that I would be sending amendments down to balance it as the need would require. People are going to be paid. Bills are going to be paid. Everything is going to go on like it should. The tax rate that was passed is going to stay where it was. It will remain at $1.20 as passed by council, and I would submit amendments to balance the budget based on that tax rate. Now, Richmond is the only city that I know where the council sues the mayor because they forgot to do their homework. So you're hearing that now. One of the persons who's running for mayor, is the president of the council. Why didn't he take the time to send the budget in and do it when he should have done it? Same thing happened 3 years ago when this person, Mr. Panley, was chairman of the finance committee, and they blew it then. And at that time I said, well, they're starting, they're new, they don't know. I gave them the benefit of that doubt and corrected it myself to the extent of having to assuage and fine $14 million to save from going to court. So the question now, if they want to go to court, go on to court. But I don't think the courts are what the people of the city of Richmond look to run its city. They look to its elected officials. And that's why I have continued to provide that leadership. And unfortunately won't be here to provide it further. But I will be here to the last breath of the time that I have to make certain that we do the right thing.
With the budget and with the amendments that you have here as a whole.
Right.
Pieces of the budget that were passed. But the $5 million for the ADA compliance.
Just because council forgot to do their job on time doesn't mean city services will be cut or trash will not be picked up. We'll pay bills and meet obligations. The only difference is I'll have to find areas to trim the budget. I'll do so cautiously and in such a way that there will be as little impact on the citizens as possible. So don't believe the scare stories you will hear that this budget will drive the city to a halt. This will not happen on my watch. And I think, quite frankly, the people of the city are sick and tired of these threats. Oh, we're going to lock this person up. Oh, we're going to send this person to jail. Or even Ms. Robertson accusing Ms. Hill Christian of being a criminal. You haven't forgotten that, I hope.
No.
Yes. Hey, we should stop hiring criminals. And she was asked, are you referring to Ms. Hill Christian? Yes, that's who I'm talking about. Now, you can't have an effective government when city council members are talking about it that way, and then they don't do their job.
Today, the city is led by the directly elected mayor. The mayor is elected by the entire city and must serve the entire city and not sacrifice the needs of the whole for the needs of the few.
Keep on talking. I love to hear you say it. And that's what the people voted for. That's what they want. And I tell you what, if those people on the council who still resist that change in the form of government, then why don't they have a new referendum put out and see if the people want to go back to what they used to have? Pay-go, where all you have to do is have any number of some council say, well, we'll spend as much money as you want. Let me tell you something else this city needs desperately. They need to have a conflict of interest, a set of rules and laws. We have it at the state government. We have it at most other governments. Just last night, Loudoun County passed a resolution, voted yesterday, to put themselves, stop them from accepting campaign contributions from builders and others, which were things that they had before the board. In other words, if you got something before the city council, and if you're the developer, and you're going to be making all these contributions to Rob or to Adam or to Linwood or to me, and then expect our vote, this is wrong. And when you find, look at the campaign contributions list that people are sending. Look at Echo Harbor and see where the money is going. The very people that want to do something. Look at the people who serve on the city council, who want to develop and help develop Echo Harbor, because their firms would be called upon to do architectural work in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. But there are no laws at the city council level to stop that. And it's wrong. There should be. Now, don't say it doesn't happen. Loudoun County did it just last night.
It's here in black and white here.
Black and white before you go to it and you see it. Washington Post reported in Metro section.
Bars use of builder campaign funds.
Yeah. This is what I mean by continuing to clean up the cesspool, as I said 4 years ago, of corruption and inefficiency in the city of Richmond. If the city council would spend more time doing those things to clean itself up and do its work, then the people of the city of Richmond would be better served.
Well, on that note, we're going to take a break. Joining me on the show is Richmond Mayor L. Douglas Wilder. It's Community Conversation.